published 0929 Est, the 28th of November. The 2017 updated 1127 Est, the 28th of November 2017. Two men accused of leaving a schoolgirl after plying her with drugs have been cleared of manslaughter. Jason Burder and Adam King, both 28, were said to have given Megan Bannister, 16, booze and ecstasy before sending humiliating Snapchat videos of her fitting. They were accused of causing her death by failing to get help while she lay dying in the back of their car as they drove her around looking for alcohol and contacting prostitutes. But the pair were cleared of manslaughter today after a judge ruled it was impossible to say whether their actions, though morally repugnant, had caused the schoolgirl's death. Megan Bannister died after she was found on the backseat of a crashed car in Leicestershire. Adam King left and Burder right were accused of giving her drugs or spiking her before driving around while she lay dying on the back seat. Megan's body was found in the vehicle after Burder, who was driving, lost control and ploughed into the back of a motorbike in Enderby, Leicestershire at around on the evening of May 14. Burder and King, both from Leicester, went on trial at Birmingham Crown Court 2 weeks ago charged with gross negligence manslaughter. They were accused of spiking Megan's drink with ecstasy and strangling her. But the pair were today cleared after a judge directed the jury to find them not guilty of manslaughter on the grounds there was no case to answer. Following lengthy legal argument at Birmingham Crown Court, Mrs. Justice Jefford ruled that Burder and King had no case to answer. She said it was impossible to establish when Megan died and whether seeking medical attention earlier would have saved her. Megan, who wanted to become a midwife and was working hard at school, told her parents she was going to stay the night with a girlfriend, but instead met Burder. The court heard after being given ecstasy, she was driven around in Jason Burder's Vauxhall Astra. Trial was told Burder and King stopped to buy beer after putting Megan in the back of the Vauxhall Astra. Although Burder told his mother they were taking Megan home, they drove her around from shortly before 7:50 a.m. until the crash in which a biker suffered a broken pelvis at about 11:40 a.m. An off-duty nurse who was one of the first on the scene after the crash, said Burder and King must have known that Megan, who was half covered by a coat and had no obvious crash injuries, was dead. The GCSE student, who wanted to be a midwife, knew Burder, whose Facebook profile falsely gave his age as 21 through social media, but only met him in person 2 days before her death. The pair did admit supplying ecstasy to Megan, and Burder pleaded guilty to driving without due and attention. Adam King left and Jason Burder right were accused of Megan's manslaughter but were cleared today after a judge said there was no case to answer, explaining her reasons for instructing jurors to acquit both defendants of manslaughter. Judge Mrs. Justice Jefford said, over the past few days, in your absence, I have heard legal argument in relation to the manslaughter charge. It is open to the defendants to submit at the close of the prosecution case, that if you take the prosecution's case at its highest you could not properly be sure of the defendant's guilt. I have concluded that as a matter of law there is no case to answer on the manslaughter charge, and it is therefore my duty to instruct you to enter a not guilty verdict against both defendants. In a written ruling explaining her decision, the judge said there was no evidence on which a jury could be sure that failing to seek assistance for Megan, however morally repugnant it might be, had caused her death. Following the car crash, efforts were made to revive Megan, but witnesses said they believed she was already dead as her lips were blue and she was showing no signs of life. A pathologist later concluded that she had not died in the crash. The pair, pictured in a court sketch, were said to have done nothing to help Megan. The precise cause of death was unascertained, but tests found a massive difference in toxicity levels between Megan and the two men, said Miranda Moore. Prosecuting pathologist Dr. Francis Hollingbury told the court the cause of death was either ecstasy toxicity, manual strangulation, or a combination of the two. Burder and King, both of Leicester, will be sentenced for the offences they admitted on Tuesday or Wednesday. A statement read out in court on behalf of Megan's family said Megan's life was cruelly taken away from her. She was our beautiful, talented and loving daughter. Our hearts have been utterly broken by her death. A statement written by Megan's father, Tony, 54, said, not one day goes by without us thinking about her. She was the heart of our family. We will never forget the day the police gave us the harrowing news. We could not believe Megan had been taken away from us. We did not sleep. We desperately wanted to see Megan again. All Megan ever wanted to do was help others. She had her heart set on becoming a midwife. Knowing how determined she was, we know she would have achieved that dream. The thought of life without Megan is impossible to imagine. I can't express in words our numbness and grief. The silence in our lives without Megan is deafening.